Okay, guys, so the recording is started now. So, one more topic which I wanted to cover that day, we missed it. It was connecting Entra ID with Intune. So, I'll be explaining this today. Synchronizing identities using Microsoft Entra Connect. So, what we did, we created the user and then we assigned the roles to the user. We had the access to the portal now, and now we are the global administrators. What we will be doing now, everything what we have done till now, we have done it on cloud. There is nothing to do with the on-premise thing. Means there should be some place where the data and information should be stored. So for doing that, what we will be doing, we will be doing the intra connect with the on-premise network. So how that is done and what is actual requirement, why we actually do it. So Microsoft Intra Connect is an on-premise Microsoft application which is designed to avail the hybrid facilities. Hybrid facilities means the facility which you can use in the cloud also and in the premise also, on premise also. So before coming to this topic, okay, this was done. We have already done this, creating the user thing and then assigning the global administrator to Alan Dion. That we have done, and creating managing groups. Groups also we have created and completed. So yesterday means I gave one homework that we have to create the user and then assign the RBAC rule and test whether the RBAC is assigned properly or not. So did anyone do that, or was there any challenge for anyone in doing it? Any question, any query? We'll take it and then we will move forward with the intra connecting. Any comments on it? Yeah, Banu.
Hi Vipin. Yesterday I just created the user.
Mhm.
So via VMware only I was able to log in with that user credentials.
Okay, so
And
did you tested that that device was appearing in Intune or not?
no Vipin, that is what I meant. When I connected, actually it was like MFT Entra ID Connect.
Okay, okay, okay. So
And when I checked the devices in the in the Microsoft Intune devices list, it was not being appeared.
okay,
And
meanwhile
then I
okay, okay, okay. You
and
log
then
in.
yes, please.
So you log into Intune and we will see then later on, just post this completion of this topic. So configuring the Active Directory thing. Now we are using this tenant. Contoso Corporation is currently managing users in both ADDS, means Active Directory Domain Server, and Intra ID. So what is the difference between Active Directory Domain Server and Intra ID? Intra ID is a branch, as I told, is the whiteboard visible at the back. Guys, is it
Yes.
visible at the back? If I'll explain the topics,
Yes, yes, yes.
will it be visible for everyone? Okay, so I'm going to tell about that how Intra ID and Azure AD server is going to connect, and what is Intra ID. If you will talk about, so this is AD server, ADDS domain server that we call it. Okay, is it appearing good or in mirror form?
Actually, it's not clear. It's blurry little bit. Yeah, still not clear.
me bring the C5. The video quality might not be that good. So let's take just an example that this is AD domain, AD server, ADDS. Okay, this is visible this much.
Yeah, yeah, that's okay.
Okay, and then it has the branches like Entra ID, Intune, okay, and Entra ID. So what we did, we created the user on Entra ID. We created the group on Entra ID, but it was not connected to ADDS. As mentioned that in our Contoso domain, we are managing things on the ADDS also and on cloud also. So going on ADDS and cloud again and again and integrating the data that we have is not very much easy. So what we are doing, we are going to do the connect of ADDS with Entra ID and then Intune. So we will be learning the same thing in the lab today. I'm sharing my screen again. Okay, so as it says that Contoso Corporation is currently managing users in both ADDS domain server and Intra ID as separate process. Means these both things are separate. This is time consuming and has led to an inconsistent information. If the information is bifurcated in two places, then it will be but obvious inconsistent, and there might be some miss of the information and data. So what we are going to do, we are going to do the connect. You have been tasked with the addressing this issue, connecting the two directories by using Microsoft Intra Connect. So there is one service named as Microsoft Intra Connect that we are going to use it to connect our Intra ID with the domain server. So we have to log into the intra.microsoft.com, that is a cloud platform, and from there we will go to the Intra Connect. Here it is. So Intra Connect gives you the facility of cloud syncing and connect syncing. So what is the difference between the connect syncing and cloud syncing? Connect syncing means you are going to sync the data of Intra ID with the domain server. Means whatever users groups, whatever you have created over Intra ID, means over Intune, it is a branch. As I told that it is a branch of AD. Intra ID Intune is a branch of AD, Active Directory. So whatever we are going to do here, whatever changes we will be making here, that is going to reflect on AD as well. So for doing that, we are going to do the cloud sync as directed in these steps. On the Microsoft Intra Connect Get Started page, select Manage tab. Okay, so there are three tabs. You can read about it as well in your portal that what is actually what it does. So Microsoft Entra Hybrid Identity Solution spans on premise and cloud-based capabilities, creating a common user identities for authentication and authorization to all resources. So what is it is going to do? It is just going to make the trust between the cloud platform and the on-premise platform. So if there will be a trust, whatever the information we will send it from here to store to save, so that later on when we are doing the login or we are putting the password or we are authenticating, so it's getting directly authenticated with ADDS, Active Directory Domain Servers. Now we will go to the manage, and from manage download Connect Sync Agent. So there is one application named as Connect Sync Agent which needs to be downloaded to avail this service. So this is the option, download Connect Sync Agent. We have to accept the terms and conditions to download. Okay, it's getting downloaded. Okay, it's already there. So here it is, Azure AD Connect. We will open it. It says that we have to customize the platform. So we won't be using the default settings of AD Connect. So we have to customize as per our domain, that is Contoso. So we will click on customize, install. Synchronization is going to take some time. So just an overview that how things are working in the background. So if you will talk about the AD thing, so we are just understanding that how AD Connect is actually happening, because whatever the users or groups that we are creating or licenses, whatever we are assigning, so that is actually happening from the AD. When we buy the subscription for managing these cloud services, so we buy the services for Entra Connect, Entra ID, and from there we avail the services of M365, we avail the services of Intune, we avail the services of SharePoint, and we even manage the VDIs also. That is virtual desktop. So now we will proceed here.
Vipin, Prashant and other person are trying to join and he's asking to admit.
Okay, sorry, sorry. Okay, so we are on the user sign-in page. Password has synchronization. We are going to do what it does. Let's read it. This option allows your users to sign in the cloud using the same password that they have on premise. So what we will be doing, that password what we have created, we have assigned to the user, that is going to sync with the on-premise thing. So password has synchronization, does not store or send clear text password. This is this is the thing that we will be doing. Password has synchronization. Okay, next we will be using our admin credentials that we have, the tenant ID that we are using. Tenant means the account by which we are owning the Intra platform. Intra means Azure Active Directory platform. So this is the account by which we are owning the Contoso. So this account which I logged in, it is the root account. We call it as a root account or admin account or a global administrator. So in sometimes in interviews also they ask that how a same root account is used for different things. Means same root account is getting logged into the Intune, also getting logged into M365 portal, also getting logged in for managing the VDIs also. So this is the thing, because this is the root domain account by which we have bought the subscription, and under which we are managing the all services that we have. So now directory type is going to be Active Directory.
Bipin, I have one question here. You added one forest, one domain here. What if we have multiple domain?
Multiple domains, we can add the directory of multiple domains from here. Usually we do have in some companies actually, if they have some other branches, just take an example of, let's take the example of Tata. So Tata have Tata Steel also, TCS also, and they have other organizations in other companies also, but they are managed through the same root domain. Same root domain means same root account is there, but the domains are going to be different. But the same admin center will be there. From the same admin center, the functionality will be different for each and every one. If it is being used under TCS, then there will be some other functionality, other functions will be there, other users will be there, groups will be there, but it's going to remain in the same root domain. And then under forest there will be other domains listed, and accordingly it will be managed, but the subscription is going to be same only. Creating new. Okay, creating new ID account. Okay, controls administrator. Password will use this. Now it is configured. This forest is configured with this directory type. Now we will do the next. Okay, this is configured now. This domain. Now user principal name. Under user principal name, we will proceed with the Entra sign in connect. Okay. Continue without this. Okay. So this is the part of the AD thing, not the Intune thing. But as we are doing the setup, so we should be knowing that how the backend is working actually and how backend is getting set up. So this is the domain that we have. We are syncing it. Under this, you can see how many branches are there. Let's verify that IT managers and everything is selected. Okay, it's selected. Synchronize all users and devices. Password has synchronized and is selected. Next, install. So why we are doing it? When we will be trying to connect our devices to register it. So the data of the device, the user data will also be going to the on-premise. That's the main agenda why we are doing it. It's gonna take some time. Till then, we will read something and try to understand that what is actual requirement, why we are doing this. At this time, synchronization of objects from your local Active Directory, domain server, and Intra ID begins. You should wait approximately 3 to 4 minutes of process to complete or check progress in the synchronization service application. Now, after that, we are going to verify the synchronization in Entra ID, whether it is synchronized or not. And then we will be proceeding with the registration of the devices. So let this happen. Meanwhile, we can cover a few questions if anybody have. Yeah, Jamin.
Oh, actually, I was like letting you know that some people are going trying to join, so that's why I just
Yeah,
raised a hand.
that was Prashant and Ishan. They were trying to join in now.
Yeah. I have like one small question.
Mm-hmm.
So it like recently happened at my company. With my company, were using like two different objects. So like AD users, they have different one, and in Microsoft 365, they have like a different user.
Okay.
So they have like two identities right now. So
Mm-hmm.
once we started syncing from Active Directory to Microsoft 365, now they have two user accounts. So
Okay, so that confusion, yeah, that confusion
yes,
actually
yes. I was
got.
thinking, is there any way to merge those two accounts, or I can rename the AD user account so it merge automatically? I'm still struggling at my company right now. I'm thinking to
So
try to solve it.
is there AD Connect sync established for your domain?
Yes, yes, yeah, it's been yeah established because they were using like Google Workspace before, so there
Mm-hmm.
was like no syncing with Google Workspace. So we just moved only from cloud to cloud migration.
Okay, okay. So usually in some organization this happens that if they are having the two domains, so what they did to avail the service and just reduce the cost of the subscription thing, they create the two accounts at different domains. मतलब, for the same user, they create the account at two different places.
Yeah, so they have like the local Active Directory domain, and they have the work email on the Microsoft 365.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not matching for some of the users.
So that's the idea for just saving the cost for the company. Actually, they do,
Yeah.
but it's totally a part of Azure thing. So we don't have to worry in Intune subject that is it going to be asked in the MD102 exam or somewhere. So it's not going to be asked. We have to just understand the basics that how basic of Azure is actually working for Intune.
Mhm. Okay.
Anybody have any other question? I hope no. So I'm sharing my screen again. It's completed. Okay, so as you can see that it is completed, we will exit from here. And now what we will be doing, we'll be verifying it. So let's go to home. We are on intra.microsoft.com already, logged in already. Now we will be going to users. In the user section, we will see that if that connect is established or not. Uh, I will take one more thing. Now we will open any of the user. Wait. I hope it is visible to everyone. Let's open any user and we will verify that on-premise sync is enabled. It's showing as yes. Account status is enabled. The properties. See, now all the users that we have, we can use those users' accounts to connect the devices or to register the devices. Now we will check the groups also, whether the groups are also syncing or not. Yes. Here are groups, all groups. We can see any of the group property. Okay. Down. See, only this group is on cloud, is not synced. What is it? Okay, group for this. This is a do not delete group for domain server, cloud domain server. So that is why it's on cloud. Rest groups you can see that is connected with the Windows Server AD now. There are only few groups which are on cloud. Now we will be checking the managers group. Managers. Yeah, somebody has raised the hand.
Yeah, Vipin. So these groups will retain the members too, or it's an empty group copied to cloud?
I didn't get your question means. Could you please repeat?
Okay, so it sync the group as well, right, to cloud.
Uh-huh.
So whatever members were there in AD on those groups will also carried over to the cloud under the same group.
No, no, no. The user sync has already happened, so it's really not required. The group means the group information of whatever the collection ID of the group is there, object ID of the group is there, that's going
Mhm.
to be stored on premise. The information is going to be stored on premise. So we are not losing the data of the groups. If we are
Okay.
Yeah, if we are adding those groups for some RBAC rules or some other roles, then that is going to be synced with the on-premise and send the information, send the data.
Okay.
So managers, members. So of all the groups which are created on Windows AD server, they cannot be managed through the cloud platform. You can see. So some groups cannot be managed in this portal. To manage these groups, we have to go to some other portal that is AD group. That is managed by AD domain server, not
Mhm.
from here.
Okay.
We cannot make any changes from here from cloud.
Okay.
Why we do it? For the security purpose, as you know that Intune is known for its security and compliance. That is why organizations are using it. So this is the main reason. This is the big reason that we can understand here. Now, I hope everyone has understood that why we do it. First of all, if we are understanding or we are going through any topic, so there are three things we should make it sure that why we are doing it, why it is actually required to be done, what is the benefit of it, and if we will not do, then what things can break. So these questions should come in the mind, then only we will understand that if there is any user coming for any issue, or you are working in some organization and some issue, some problem, some ticket is coming, that your data is not getting synced with the on-premise, or you want to avail some functionality for the user, you are assigning some role or some application to the user, but it is not getting properly assigned. So these things, if we will understand this, then we'll be able to troubleshoot in the backend. So now what we are going to do, we are going to configure and manage the intra join thing. Intra join means we are going to register a device. We are going to join a device with the intra, with the cloud. So we will be doing that testing.
I noticed one thing. When we run Windows 11 Professional,
Okay.
when you try to log in after configuring, it automatically asks for you to join a tenant. So in that case, when I give the my credentials, then it gets registered automatically.
Mhm.
Which means, like for professionals, even if you don't get the hardware ID or zero touch registration, it
Hardware
automatically
ID and zero touch registration, they are coming under autopilot. So
autopilot.
yeah,
Okay.
it is not the autopilot currently. So if we will go through this lab and we will read it, we'll get to know that it will directly tell that it is not the autopilot thing that we are going to do. It's just we are going to configure it on the cloud.
Correct. So one thing I noticed when we have a home version of Windows, we have to go to the accounts and we have to connect in order to
Yeah,
register.
work or school account, and then we have to do the registration.
If it is home edition, if it is a professional edition, it automatically pops up like you log in to your organization.
Mm-hmm. So what actually happens if there is some new user coming in the small organization I'm talking about? So what
Okay.
they do, they allow the facility of BYOD, that is bring your own device. So in that cases, what they do, they just see the devices in their Intune, just for seeing the devices in their Intune and just to manage few functionalities like addition of those devices in a particular group and then pushing some policy, some application, some required application, like if there is a HR team. So for that HR team, what they will do, they will ask them that you bring your own devices, you register your devices with your credential, which is provided, which is synced with your on premise. They will register it, and what will happen, the device will be visible in Intune. What they will do, they will just, if they want to create the dynamic rule, they can create the dynamic rule and create the group, or else they will manually add those devices in a particular group, and they want to push some HR applications, like we can call that paying application, that from where the HRs manage the payments for the uh, employees. So that application, let's take, we are going to
ADP.
push from Intune. So what they will do, they will create the group and they will add that group for that application. That application will be pushed for HRs only on their devices.
Okay.
So it's like that. That's the connecting thing, with connecting with the intra, so that whatever there is on intra, that can be pushed on those users.
Okay, but I have my question was, so it does not reflect to the OS level. So even if you have Windows 11 Professional or Enterprise, when you are in Enterprise, it doesn't automatically ask, the OS doesn't pop up a message like you have to register to a company's tenant ID. It will not pop up because I noticed when I try to launch the VM, It
Mhm.
is popped up like because if we have the enterprise, guys, we downloaded the ISO of enterprise. So it popped up a message like try connecting to your organization.
Okay, but
Maybe when you try to launch the ISO and kickstart the
okay,
view.
okay, okay. Let's proceed with this. Then we
Okay,
can
sure.
take it up. We can take it up at the end of the session.
Sure,
So,
thank you.
so there is a prerequisite that we are going to do synchronization identities by using Microsoft Intra Connect. Identities means our accounts. We are going to do the synchronization with the devices and with the Intra Connect. So you need to configure Intra ID device settings to ensure that all users are allowed to join devices to Intra ID that we have done. You also need to ensure that users can only join a maximum of 20 devices and that Alan Diong is added as a local administrator on intra joined devices that we have done. We have added the RBAC thing. We understood that RBAC thing, how it is going to work, but we haven't learned this that maximum 20 devices can be joined by a user. So from here we will be learning this that how we define the maximum user enrollment, maximum device enrollment for a particular user. So you will verify that intra join works as expected by having Johnny Sherman join this is the device, the workstation that where we will be testing it. So what we are going to do, we are going to configure the intra join device settings that if that setting is configured, then only the users on your intra ID they will be able to register the devices or they'll be able to connect. So mean it is not like that you have bought the subscription for the intra ID and you have created few users on that and you have given the user credentials to the users that so and so is your user and try to log in your device, try to connect your device. It won't happen. You won't be able to manage those devices until unless you are not configuring the settings for intra join. So we will be doing that. We are already on the intra portal. We're going to home, logged in, everything is done. We'll come to the devices, all devices as it says, because we are going to configure the device registration settings, device configuration settings. So we will go to the devices. This pan is not visible. Okay. Entra ID, devices. Okay, all devices, device settings. So once you will come to this page, device settings, Microsoft Intra join registration settings. User may join their devices to Microsoft Intra. Wherever it is coming as Microsoft Entra, it means that it is a cloud platform. We will read and understand it. So what if we are going to select is that selected or none, then what is going to happen? So select the user and groups that are allowed to join devices to Microsoft Entra. This setting is applicable to Microsoft Entra join on Windows, Mac OS devices. So see, this setting is only applicable for Windows and Mac OS because in Windows and Mac OS we get the work or school account settings, but not in the phone. From phone, we cannot connect the device. We are doing the registration of the device via company portal in iOS device also and in Android device also. If you guys have enrolled your device with your organization, you would have seen that functionality that you have to download the company portal and then you have to put in your credentials to register your device with your tenant, with your organization. So this setting does not apply to Microsoft Intra hybrid joint devices. it is not going to apply to intra hybrid joint devices, means the devices which are managed through uh, Azure AD also, and which are managed through the cloud platform, that is Entra also. So Microsoft Entra joint VMs in Azure and Microsoft Entra joint devices. So these are the prerequisites that we have to understand, that when we are going to configure the settings, these VMs, virtual machines that are on Entra joint and Microsoft Entra joint devices using Microsoft Autopilot self deployment mode, as these methods works in userless context. So it directly tells us that these are the prerequisites. If there is autopilot device, autopilot deployment, self-deployment device, that is also not going to work for this setting. So we are going to configure it for all. It is for all the users that we have. Here we will also read and understand that this indicates that all Intra users are permitted to join Windows 10 or newer devices to Microsoft Entra. But it is not talking about phone or Mac OS at the moment. Note that this setting does not apply to intra-hybrid joint devices or devices joined by using Windows Autopilot self-deployment mode. So as I think Raja Gopal was asking that in the Autopilot zero touch deployment, how it is going to work. So it's not really related to that. It's just the joining of the device with the user credentials. We are not registering the device on the platform directly.
Oh yes, I think just enter the credentials, it will get automatically registered.
Yeah. The registration part that the setting that we are going to configure, it is just for the registration part. So in the require multi-factor authentication to register or join devices with Microsoft Entra ID section, verify that is selected as no. So if we will enable it, then it will ask for the multi-factor authentication to register the device. So maximum number of devices per user, it is 50. We have to make it as 20 as requested over. So maximum of 20 devices that we have to do. We will select as 20, and then under local administrator settings. So if we are configuring and by mistake we make it global administrator role is added to local administrator as yes, then that is also going to cause the problem for the users. So if we are pushing any application on the user's device and user is having the admin credentials, that is the required application, means that the application should be there in the device, then only you will be able to manage the application resources. So in that case, why we are not assigning the administrator role to a particular user? Can anyone answer? Just for the prerequisite part, why we are not assigning the local administrator access to the users, those who are connecting or those who are joining their devices with the organization? Yeah, someone has raised the hand.
Yeah, Vipin. So if they, because if we choose the setting on, they will by default be become a local admin and they
Yeah,
can do some changes
yeah,
on the
they can
devices.
uninstall that application, that required
Yes.
application. They can even remove the policies that we have pushed. So these are the prerequisites before configuring any of the settings. So here we will be keeping as no local administrator settings, manage additional local administrator on enter join the device administrator phase. Okay.
No, Vipin, actually, so we are like on the second line we are doing none, right? But we are keeping global admin as a local admin. Otherwise,
Yeah. We are keeping at globalism, but on the
yeah.
second line we will be doing this. So
Uh,
as it was asked that we have to assign a user, means Alan Diong, as the local administrator, so that that user can manage the set of those 20 devices which is under him. Okay, so we will do the assignment. Alan Dion. Okay, we will add it. It's added now. See, Alan Dion will now be added as the device administrator on all intra-joined devices. So this user will be able to manage all the devices which are joined through Intra or which are registered through Intra. Okay, coming to device and device settings again, we will be saving it. Enable Microsoft Intra Labs. Labs password is managed in local password on Windows here. Labs provide a solid security manager to track the. Okay, this is by default no. Restrict users from recovering the BitLocker key for their own devices. No. So these settings are by default as no because they are the security settings for the device. We will be learning in the compliance setup when we will be doing a compliance setup for the devices. So this thing is done. Now for the security purpose, what we are going to do, we are going to set up the authentication methods so that users can authenticate themselves. We will be selecting as SMS as told. Enable it. All users, it is already there. Okay, it's done. Now we will be performing the intra join. Okay, so you guys also can open your VMs and then do the testing. So here I have WS1. So I'll be doing the testing on that. That my uh, settings that I have configured, is it really working or not? So the password I will log in. The device is not connected with any of the accounts. So I'm going to use this user. Okay, so that will it is going to be your homework, guys, that you have to set up do the settings from your end, whatever the settings that I have told. If there is any doubt anyone is facing with these steps, I can share these steps. I'll be sharing these steps by OD today as soon as I'll get free with the office work, so that you can also perform and establish the setting in your tenant. First of all, we will be understanding here that whether our intra-join settings that we have configured, it is really working or not. Work for school. So I think Rajagopal, you were asking the question that when we are putting the email addresses here and then logging in, then what is happening?
So what happened was like currently you're running Windows Enterprise Edition or which one you are running?
We can check. Yeah, enterprise.
Okay, so when I downloaded the Windows 11 Enterprise ISO,
Mhm.
right, and after installing the ISO and starting the VM, it automatically popped up the window asking me to join the organization. Only then it brought me up the home page. So when it is setting up the 11 Enterprise,
Mhm.
it was popping up a small window like this. set up a work or school account, right? Instead, it was showing join your organization. So it was asking for the email address and password, which I gave and it got registered. Now I checked under my user and I see the device registered.
Okay, okay.
Yes, it has happened to me as well, but device is not seen in the um, MDM, like in Intune.
Okay, so what was the joint type it was showing?
Microsoft Entra joined.
Microsoft Intra joint. But have we configured the settings, intra joint settings that
No, I
we
have
did?
not configured for that user.
That we haven't done it, so that is why it is not visible in Intune. It is just visible in Intra. So intra join that this configuration settings we have to configure it. Then only we'll be able to see the devices in Intune as well.
But I see it in the Intune, my device, which I got registered yesterday.
But you won't be able to manage it.
Yeah, maybe correct.
That manage button will be graded out.
Enable, yeah, manage button is grayed out, correct.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now we will be doing the intra join and we will experience it that for the particular user by which I am doing it, we will experience the same thing. We are going to experience the same thing whether the device I am going to join, is it going to be visible there or not, or will be able to manage it or not. So there,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so I have one question here.
Mhm,
So, as you said, it is not, I'm not able to manage the device through Intune.
mhm.
So, in order to manage the device through Intune, I have to, on the Entra account, I have to enable it or sync it.
Yeah, you have to do the syncing thing.
Okay, that you're going to show now.
Yeah, yeah. So there are two things when we provide a new device to the user and ask them to go and set up their work or school account. So mainly this issue also we face sometimes. We get the tickets and requests about this also, that what the users are doing, users are not technical. Okay, sometimes. So what they do, they open the work or school account, they put in their credential because it is popped up here directly. So what it is going to do, it is just going to register the device, but what setting we have configured that the device should be joined and then only we can push the policies and application. Then they request that my I'm not getting the application, or I'm facing some issues, I'm not able to log into my Outlook, my Teams, because the policies and the certificates that we are trying to push, that has not been pushed because they have just registered their devices, not joined. So that's the basic mistake that we have to understand. If there is any issue or any tickets or any live scenario is coming to you guys. So just an example I gave. So what we have to do, we don't have to click here. We have to do the joining thing. So join this device to Microsoft Entra ID. You will get the option, and join this device to local Active Directory domain. It means that you are going to join this device with the Active Directory domain, and later on, if we will, you will try to onboard it on Intra ID. It will be a hybrid managed device. So what the settings that we have configured, that is not going to work for this option. It is only going to work for this option as it was told in the uh, information that it's only going to work for intra Microsoft Intra, not for intra hybrid joint devices. So we will be proceeding with this. I hope everyone is understanding and enjoying now. Yeah, type yes, after rate 365. Okay. See, make sure this is your organization. Okay, control. So Okay, okay. If you continue, system policies might be turned on, other changes might be made on your PC. So this is the prompt that usually comes to the user. Now we are proceeding with the join thing. Okay, it is connected. So there is one more thing, one more command that we have to understand and we have to learn, that how to check whether a particular device is managed by some organization and in which way it is actually managed. So there is one command that is dsregcmd uh, slash status. So we can run that command in the PowerShell as admin, and we can see the status. PowerShell Windows terminal. Run as administrator. Okay, so here we will be able to see that the device is where it is registered. So it is registered, it is joined with Azure AD. Yes. Enterprise joined, no. Domain joined, no. This is the device name. So from here we can just clear our registration part, that whether the device is joined or not, we can check it from here. So it's completed. And this user is a local administrator also for the particular device. As you might have seen that when I opened the Windows terminal as admin, I need not to put the credentials of the tenant. I just got yes and no option because we have configured the settings in such a way that this local administrator facilities can be availed to the user here. But for the organization part thing, we disable it. So Jamin just asked the question. I remember that means I asked the question that why usually we do it. So we avoid getting giving the local administrator rights to the user, just to save the organization policies and applications that they cannot misuse or they cannot uninstall. If there is any we call it any applications to manage the security thing or the antivirus application that we are pushing on the device, or some applications like rapid7 to collect the data of the device. So those applications usually users avoid and they do uninstallation if they have the admin rights, and then the services whatever we are applying on the device cannot be managed. But here we have assigned it, and now we will see that whether the local administrator part is really enabled for the user or not. You can just open it, no need of doing it as admin. Then local groups, this is administrator. Okay, see, Azure AD, this user is the local administrator for this device. So here we will read that, notice that Johnny Sherman has been added as local administrator on this particular device. Also notice two security principals represented by their security identities SID. This. These two SIDs represent Entra ID Global Administrator role. Okay. And the Intra Joint Device Administrator role. So these roles are assigned to the particular user so that this device can be managed by that particular user only. So as part of the settings means whatever the steps that we have in this lab, we are following it. But regarding safeguarding of your organization policy and things when we are configuring the device settings, as per the requirement, we do make the changes in the settings. So we have just validated this. Now we will be coming to our device where we were making the changes in the intra. Okay, now we will be going to all devices again. And we will see for this device a CAWS1 whether it is visible here or not. See, it is visible, and we can even manage that device. Manage button is okay. Okay, it is just joined. Also note that MDM column should be none because it's not there on an MDM. Let's scroll it down, then we can see. Yeah, it is none. So it's not there on Intune yet. It cannot be managed in Intune. We have not configured the setting. So I think it is same for everyone when you are registering the device or when you are connecting the device.
So how then when it changes to manage?
So we will be learning this with the coming labs that we have.
Okay.
Yeah, it is actually a vast thing that how we will be bringing it on Intune, the same device. So we will be establishing the connect with the Intra Admin Center and Intune, that token thing. We will be establishing the trust between these two platforms. Then whatever the devices are being intra connected, they are coming on Intune, and to push the policies and application, we can manage it from there.
Sure.
So I think we are up with the time also today. So if anybody have any questions related to the topics that we covered today. So moreover, we are learning the part of the Active Directory thing, Azure thing, not yet on the MDM or Intune thing. So it's just we are starting from the root, then we will go to the tree and branches everywhere. It's the root thing. We are on the root and we are on the ground yet. We are not up, or we are not proceeding with some other steps and as of now. So we have to make our basics clear, and as told that in the Intune all the options and buttons already says that what the function, what's their functionalities, and accordingly we can choose, and we can go to the devices, manage devices, we can go to the policies, create policies, everything is there. So first of all, we have to understand why how the backend is working. So today we learned that thing only. So if anybody have any questions related to it. Okay, I take the silence as no. So guys, are we good to close today for today?
Yeah, we are okay.
Okay. So
Yes.
anybody have any doubt, then please let me know, or any feedback for today's session.
Oh, Vipin, actually, I don't have option like a join to Entra ID.
Join to
I
Entra
can
ID.
connect with the one of the option, two options are there, right? So one with Active Directory when I connect with the machine
So you are using which credential?
using a mail ID and credential, right?
Yeah, the credential which I have provided,
Yeah, yes, yes.
we haven't configured the setting yet for that platform.
Okay.
The settings which I configured in the lab today, the same settings needs to be configured on the tenant IDs which I have given to you guys. Then only that option will be available. Right now, you can just register your device. You can put the credential on that box which was appearing, and you can register your device on that.
Okay.
So, guys, I expect that we are good now for today.